CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales? Chappity CHAP tales. Hello, people. What's happening? You alright? Okay, so I have been digging the barrel, trying to find out, try and remember, some funny stories for yous peoples. Yeah, I found one, and if I can tell this nicely, you will laugh, because it was proper funny. It was just, whatever. Let's get on with it then, eh? Alright, so, I go on holiday to the Canary Islands, Tenerife, with my wife, doing the holiday thing, and you know, like the rep at the beginning of the holidays, like excursions, give me your money. So we went to the old excursion meeting and listened to what she had to say. And then she said, well, there's this aquarium place, I'm not anymore, but I was a massive carp fisherman, and I quite like fish. Yeah, we still got some fish in our little tank. But yeah, I'm right into all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? So after the meeting, we went over to the rep and we pulled out our readies and counted them out for her. 1 for you, 2 for you, none for me. Anyway, so we give her whatever it was to pay for this excursion, and we went on with our holiday. Anyway, the day turns up and it is time to travel to the aquarium. So we go outside the hotel, board a coach with a load of other people, and boom, we're on our way. And we get there, go in. It was actually a top place. We're just like going around this aquarium, like, and they had like everything you can imagine in there. It was unbelievable. Yes, it's better than the London Aquarium, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so we just going through whatever. Anyway, came to around lunchtime, and they had this sort of area that was sort of like outside with all tables and chairs and that, where people could sit outside and eat their lunch in the sun. So we go out and we're about to go over and get some food, and then out of the corner of my eye, I've spotted a small pond. So I was like to Angie, gotta go and see what's in the old pond, didn't I? And she's like, oh, come in. So we walked over to this pond, and it was just untold koi carp. There was even like a few commons and mirrors in there for a good bit of mixture. So yeah, I was just there, obviously, like touching the fish and that and whatever. And then there was this kid just like quite close to me, but he had like this plastic ball, and he was opening it and taking out some, like, I don't know, like dog biscuits, but carp biscuits or whatever you want to call them. And he's throwing them in the pond, and the fish are eating them. And I was like, oh God, where's he got them from? So we're looking round, and I was thinking, like, he was with his dad, this kid, so I was going to go and ask his dad where they got them from, you know what I mean? But then Angie spotted out the corner of her eye, there was this like machine, like you put money in it and you turn the handle clockwise once round or whatever, and then a little ball drops out the bottom. Like, I swear they usually got them in arcades and that, and they have little kids' toys in them and stuff. Yeah, can remember my kids doing it down at the old seaside and that. But I was like, I'll see this machine. I was just like, Ange, let's do it. Let's go to. She didn't really have a say in it. I just went over, like, and started sticking money in this machine. Got a couple of these bowls out with all food and that. So anyway, I'll go back over to the pond, like, and Angie's standing fairly close to me, but whatever. So I open a ball and I'm chucking little bits and pieces of these things in, and watching the fish eat it all nicely and that. But then the mad side of the chapman comes into my brain, doesn't it? And I'm just like, I'm gonna wind people up big time. So I undid this ball and I poured the whole contents of the ball into my hand, and I shut my hand into a fist around the food, like, and then I put these balls in my pocket or whatever. And then, so there's loads of carp everywhere, like, do you know what I mean? And we're outside where people eat their lunch. There was coaches of people turning up as well, like, and like all standing round, do you know what I mean? All from all sides of the planet. And so they're all around anyway. So I've stuck my arm in the water, like, Dan, I can obviously I know carp and I know they're not going to bite me or whatever, but people around me don't have a clue about these things, you know what I mean? So anyway, I stuck my arm in this like pond, if you like, and I went down. So I was down to my elbow into the water, and the carp all around me or whatever. So then I've opened my hand in the water, and all of this food has just floated out all between my fingers. Everything is just going all everywhere around where my arm is or whatever. But the minute I've done that, the carp have obviously seen it, smelt it, whatever they do with it, and they've just all started lunging in for the food. And there's about 20 carp around me, about 6 pound in size or whatever. 26 pounders just all going flat, flat, flat. Water's going everywhere. Everything's good. It was looking mental, right? Just like that, yeah. So then, me being the div I am, I've got my arm in the water and there's madness going on all around my arm. I've just started to scream. I'm not even joking, right? I'm going, screaming, like, and everybody around me, like, and there's a good 50 people around me or whatever, and they've all turned around and they're all looking at me, and to them it's like a scene out of Jaws. I've got my arm in the water with all these fish, and you can see the fish like coming out of the water and everything, where they're all trying to get this food, like, and they're bashing off my arm, and I'm screaming, I'm like, and there is just like this haze of confusion all around us, like, and everybody's just like, oh my god, what's happened to him, what's happening? So I'm going mad, right? And this kid's still standing a bit down for me, and he's looking at me like I'm a nutter. Like he don't look worried for me or nothing. He's just like, you're a nutcase or whatever. He probably knew about carp himself. So anyway, so I'm there like that, like, and everybody's like started to gather around to look and all that, and see if I was all right and that. I'm screaming. Everyone, oh my god, the confusion on their brows. So, and then after about 30 seconds of this madness going on around my arm, like, and everybody coming around and looking and all that, like, I've just stood up straight, pulled my hand out of the pond, like, gone like that, and sort of like wipe the old hands off into the pond, get a bit of water off me. And then I've turned around to everyone who's standing there looking at me, and I've just gone, slippery little buggers. And everybody is just like looking at me in this haze of confusion. It is nuts. So I've looked around to see where my wife is, and she has gone. she's just walked off. She's like, you're just embarrassing, mate. I am not standing there while you do stupid things like that. Like, and then I've just like, just looking at everyone, and I was just like shaking my head. And then I just turned and walked off in the direction. Well, it's the only real direction that Angie could have got away in, you know what I mean? So I knew she'd gone that direction. So I'm just walking off. And as I walk past that kid, like, he's just looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like, he's just still throwing in little bits of food to the fish, like, just looking at me like, you're an idiot. And anyway, so I walked off, and then I got quite far away, but I looked over my shoulder. I could see back, like, this is in the days of CHAP site. But yeah, I look back, and this haze of confusion is just lingering around these people. Like, anyone that was sitting there eating stopped. Anyone that was talking stopped. They're just all looking at this pond, and then looking at the little kid, and then looking at me walking away. And they're like, But I'll tell you what, it was so funny. It was just so funny because when I was doing it, like I could see that there was like a lot of people, some people probably thinking, good, let him get eaten by Jaws. A lot of them were thinking, oh, I've got to go and save this guy. And it's just mental. It was so funny. And where like there was like different culturally different people, you know what I mean, all from different countries and that. A lot of them not speaking English, they're speaking different languages and stuff, and they do you know what I mean? it was nuts. So anyway, after a minute of walking away from the scene, I bumped into Angie and she's just looking at me like I'm a complete and utter embarrassment to her, and I was just like, oh, sorry babe. She's just like, and then I did get a smile out of her in the end. So, but it was proper funny, and if you was there, it would have been even funnier. But yeah, all right, well, sweet. That's just a little chat towel for you peeps, and I hope that was enjoyable. Please like, subscribe, hit bells, and smash things, and yeah, and die. Nice one. Speak to you soon.
CHAP tales, don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?